up on 7:04 here on TSN 690. Welcome back to Gamepoints, hour number 2 of the show. We're here till 8 o'clock. We're back on Sunday, 6 p.m. until 8 p.m. TSN Matthew on Twitter.com if you want to tweet at us. MoCon19 for Mo. And, of course, Stefano Mocella is SMocella9. We're slated to touch base with Matt Cauz of TSN 1050 and Brandon London of the Montreal Alouettes momentarily here on the program. Should be a lot of fun. Also, still to come tonight, we'll talk some baseball with RDS's Mark Griffin, who will be on a baseball diamond somewhere, chatting with us. How apropos, like that. So we have two guys to reach out to, and it's kind of funny. Last week we had Matt Cauz on the show, and he was on a boat. And now it's Brandon London who's on a boat. So, these guys like wine. They're boaters. Boaters? Is that what you say? I don't want to call them seamen.
Sailors?
Yeah. I'm pretty sure Brandon won't want to be called a sailor.
Do we get to be on a boat soon?
Are you going to take us out?
We're next.
It is long weekend.
I have a slip and slide. Does that count?
It can work.
All right. So, kind of a bit of symmetry there, right? You got one guy on a boat, now another guy on a boat. And Matt's in Toronto, right, for TSN 1050, and Brandon and the Alouettes are playing the Argonauts September 3rd. So, a lot of good symmetry there. All right, so let's go to our guests. We have a live from Toronto from TSN 1050's Mako and Cauz in the morning, and also CFL.ca. It's Mr. Matt Cauz. Matt, how you doing?
Couple points. One, I have several seaman jokes. I will make none of them on air with you.
Okay.
Two, even though I'm in a cab right now and it is raining so hard, I feel like I am in a boat. It is coming down like nuts in Toronto. All
right. Well, now we'll introduce Brandon London of the Montreal Alouettes. Now he's on the sea somewhere. I don't know. Brandon, how you doing?
Hey, what's going on? I'm actually on a nice boat right now. Bob Whittenhall's had a dinner party for us on the boat, so excuse the music in the background, but, it's a team bonding thing right now. We're all hanging out.
Well, that's great. That's great to hear. Brandon, why don't you say hello to Matt?
Matt, what's going on? How you doing?
I'm doing great, Brandon. Congrats on the win, and I know you might not be able to say it out loud, but you must be excited taking on a secondary in Toronto that certainly enjoys giving up a lot of yardage through the air.
Oh, man, I get excited when we play any secondary. Tell you that. But,
there you go.
Now, Brandon, what's your health status?
Well, I've been practicing this week. I still have a week to go before the game, and they're just taking me day by day. We want to make sure no symptoms come back, and today we had full pads on in practice, banged around a little bit, felt good. So, hopefully no setbacks or anything. But I want to get out there and I want to play, and they have my best interest in heart when it comes to health, and I feel healthy. I feel fine. We're just going to take it day by day. I'm ready to go.
Now, we had Matt on the show on Sunday, and he was talking about this I don't know what you want to call it, some sort of trip that he wants to take with you set it up, Matt. Go ahead.
Let me set this. Matt, you do a great job with your segues, but let me take over right about now. Okay, Brandon, here's what I'm thinking. It's a road trip show, but it includes football, wine, and good restaurants. It's you, me, and Mark Cohan. We go around to good restaurants. We comment on them. We talk about wine. We comment on the wine list. We talk about our own loves in terms of our favorites and things like that. And, also talk football as well. It'll be a classy show with wine and football, and by the end of it, we'll be good and drunk, and then it'll probably be a little bit less classy. What do you think?
I'm in. You didn't even have to. You had me at hello. You had me at hello.
Now, who's going to convince the commissioner?
You know what? This could be easy because he's a big wine guy. So all you have to do is throw out, I'll open up some of my nice bottles from my collection, and he'll easily say yes. No wine guy says no to a good bottle of Burgundy.
Wow. Yeah, I don't know if I'm on the commissioner's good list right now, especially after they fined me a couple weeks ago for criticizing the officials. So I'm going to lay low on that better.
Now we've got drama for the show. I like this. We got to get this done.
Oh, that's a better reality show. Absolutely. Good point, Matt.
We're keeping up with the Kardashians with this one.
Actually,
a little bit classier.
Gentlemen, Mo Khan here. I'm actually in town with Commissioner Cohan, so I can arrange for the commish to hang out with you, Matt, and I over here.
I love it. I love this idea.
Wow. All right, well, somebody's got to produce this.
I can be the producer.
No, Mo, you're wearing sweatpants. You're not producing anything, okay?
You're only producing lonely nights if you're wearing sweatpants.
Now, moving on, Brandon. So you suffered a concussion, obviously, a couple of weeks ago. Why don't you tell the listeners a little bit about that process? And do you remember the hit? Did you know right away something was wrong? How did that all transpire?
Well, when it comes to concussions, obviously with the league and the lawsuit that they're going through, they're really cautious when it comes to players coming back. They want to make sure everything's great. So when you come in day one, they want to make sure you have no symptoms. And you have to have no symptoms for a total of 2 days before they let you work out. And then they work out light. And if you have a headache or anything while you're on the treadmill or something, then you start from scratch all over again. But in terms of the hit, I remember I broke a tackle with Montreal Harris, and I was running down the sideline, and I saw Brackenridge. I knew it was going to be a collision. And TSN actually had me mic'd up for that game. So my mindset was run this guy over, get up, and talk trash so the viewers at home, could enjoy the show. But that definitely backfired because, he caught me. It was a good shot. He caught me clean. I remember falling. I didn't remember that the ball flew out of bounds. And I remember trying to get up, but S.J. Green came and held me down a little bit because he knew something was wrong. And then the trainers came and grabbed me, and, they took me to the sideline. But right when I got to the sideline, everything came back. Like, I was pretty much fine when that happened. But, anytime you get hit like that, they're obviously not going to just throw you back in the game.
In terms of the big comeback, the big drama last week, you were on the sideline for that. What was it like not being a part of that?
You get mixed emotions, because, obviously as a competitor and as a guy who's been here for 4 years, and I want to be out there with my guys. A lot of these guys are not just teammates; they're real good friends. Like, we hang out, back in the United States together in the off season and stuff. So I want to be out there most definitely. And I tell you that emotionally, that was a roller coaster ride last game because for us to turn the ball over so much and to still come out victorious, it was crazy. And for Ed Delorier to come down with that catch, man, I think it was huge. And to see the emergence of Tanner Marsh, he obviously has stuff he needs to work on, but that's obviously a great thing to have a guy step in and, play well, play with confidence while AC gets healthy.
Now, Matt, in terms of this big game coming up, Toronto versus Montreal, is it fair to say that that's for the division, essentially, that if the Montreal doesn't win that game, you're crowning the Argos?
You know what? In terms of this game, this one doesn't matter as much just because the fact that I think because of how bad Hamilton and Winnipeg are. And I hate to say it, but it's true. Now, it's not this game's important because every game's important. You want to win the division. You want to get home field and that week off. But as I said before, when Toronto won their Grey Cups, they didn't do it with outstanding regular seasons. I think for Toronto, the most important thing again is the health of Ricky Ray. But one thing, if I can go back on real quick, I really like the policy that the CFL has on concussions. And I know it's spurned on by the lawsuits. I mean, lawyers pretty much decide everything. But that being the case, I like this level of safety. I was watching a famous old Grey Cup and, Tony Gabriel and Conrad Holloway from the 70s. And there was one play where the tight end with Tony Gabriel, the famed Tony Gabriel, gets hit hard. He gets knocked down. That's fine. As he's on the ground, he gets hit again in the head, and there's no call. The announcers don't even comment on it. So we've gone from that in the 70s to what we have now. I know it's not a perfect system, but I kind of like where we are with that.
All right.
I got to disagree with you in terms of you got to keep an eye on Hamilton. I feel like everybody has to keep an eye on Hamilton. Obviously their offense with Henry Burris and Santus, they're going to score points. I
agree. They're going to score points. They'll score points, but let's be honest, you could score a lot on them.
That's true, but that defense is getting better, man. Like, I'm watching those games. defense with D-Webb, taking one to the house, the other pick six to the house. I think the defense is getting better and they're coming into their own. And I think that matchup with those guys is definitely something that's circled on our calendar. But, obviously we got to get, the back-to-back with Toronto and stuff. But I feel like
You're a nicer
really
man than me, Brandon. Brandon, you're a much nicer man than me when it comes to this.
Hey, I just got to be politically correct sometimes.
Yes, you do.
All right, boys. So you guys should work on a plan to attack the commissioner for this special. I think it's really going to come to fruition.
The first thing we have to do is Brandon and Mr. Cohen, they got to make nice. They got to make nice first.
Thank you so much for the call, Matt. Really appreciate it.
Hey, no worries. So you guys have a great rest of the show. And listen, good luck, Brandon. All the best to your health. Hopefully you're on the field the game against the Argonauts.
Okay, no problem. Thanks. Let me know if you need tickets, man.
Wow, he's really trying to make a friend there. I like that. All right, Brandon, we're going to call you right back in a couple of minutes. I know that you're bringing on a special guest, a teammate, and we'll talk some more.
Okay, no problem. Talk to you guys in a little bit.
All right, there you go. That's Brandon London of the Montreal Alouettes. He'll be back with us and a special teammate momentarily.
We're expecting you.